I know there's a lot to go over. So thank you so much. I'm Jackie Jones, my husband Rick, and this could be you in 4 years. Just saying. Okay, so I love the fact we did want to do this for everybody, but honestly, I think that what I would love is those questions that the Millers were talking about. I want them to find answers in here too. I want them to understand. And granted, this is a hard copy and they do have their phones and stuff later, but I want their hands on these as much as possible. I want these to be just really looking crazy by the time we get done. And that will be a treasure for somebody who gets to take that home. And then later it creates
It's good there. Just leave it.
Also, if, sometimes kids don't want something until they see the value in it. So I kind of like this idea of having only one until they actually see a value in, and of course they do. But just, how neat that is. And it might be a really neat project for wards as well, for those tabs and stuff later, if they wanted to. Okay, to give you an idea really quick about the mornings. Okay, so the very first morning is going to be an early morning. It's going to be a long day, but it's going to be a great day. Ma's and Pa's are going to be responsible, as you know, to bring the kids from your ward up to camp. So you're with your ward family to start off with to get up to Desert Land and Livestock, and then you break off and you go into your Trek families. Now, if your ward does not have as many Ma's and Pa's, there are other people who can help bring them up. So let's make sure that, where's Chad and Shaman? They're over here. Oh, there's Chad. Okay, and he is over transportation. If you have questions, of course, that is your guy right there. Okay.
Somebody from your ward too.
Oh, yes, that's right. And you have yes, someone's assigned from your ward. That's right. Yep. Thank you, Chad. Okay. Also, the kids leave the church. You and the kids leave the church at 6:45 a.m. on the 16th. The night before is the night that you will turn in all of your stuff, and we'll get you all that information of where your supplies go. Supplies all get dropped off the night before, and then you leave the church at 6:45 a.m. to arrive at Desert Land and Livestock at 8 a.m. You get checked in. I don't know if we've said all that. And then they don't get their families until you know the families, but they don't know their families. They may know one of the youth. Yes?
Sorry, I just had a quick question.
Yeah.
You had mentioned like each ward is in charge of transportation. I think a lot of the wards have a transportation person over that. Are we in charge of gear as well, or just people?
All of the gear should be dropped off that night before. So, and you're the Ma and Pa, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I've got a transportation person that believes that we have to get our gear there too from the ward, or is the state taking care of gear?
We're happy to help with that.
Yeah.
Do you want me to?
Yes, please.
So-
do. Please do.
Yeah.
And the wards need to haul the new gear.
Yeah. So we will work with Chad, Dorothy, my wife Dorothy, Wade Watkins. You as Ma's and Pa's, if you will bring your gear to the stake center the night before, we will transport yours, unless you have a vehicle, a truck that you can put yours in and bring it up with kids, something like that. But if you want us to transport it, bring it up then the night before, we'll haul it up, and then we will set it up basically in a pile by company up there. So that's the Ma and Pa. As far as the youth, your ward transportation person is coordinating that. The youth will take their gear to somewhere in your ward, wherever they decide. Take it there the night before, and then you will transport it. That transportation person will transport it along with you and the kids up that morning. So, did I miss anything,
That
Chuck?
trailer can stay
Yes.
at Trek, and then that can be your gathering spot for your ward.
Yeah, it makes more sense to, you take the ward, take up all the youth gear, they get it, go to their families, and then they know whoever drives that trailer up, they're going to just leave it there with their vehicle while you're on Trek. And then your kids all know, Trek's over, grab all your gear, come right back and put it in this trailer, and we'll haul it back home. So.
It's so nice to have a location for that. Okay. When we get up there, we're gonna have kind of a rallying period with our youth leaders, and and then we'll divide into our families, and then you guys get to make your flags. So with your family, it's kind of a fun, kind of a time to connect with them. So we'll get you more information on the flags that are coming. We appreciate Troy and Shelley so much, Birmingham, for putting those together. And if you look over here, you'll have a family flag that'll be on the top that'll be designed. It'll say come and see, and then you put a scripture or there's an action word that will go on that your family will decide on, and then we'll let the kids decorate it. So that action word will be your family name. The bottom or the second color is your company color. And every company has a different color so that we can keep track of those and make sure also for the photography and videography that everybody's getting a chance to be seen. Because sometimes it's hard for them to discern. Yeah, and the buffs. And every one of the kids will have their color, their company color, in a buff that they can get wet and wear around their neck. Okay. I'm just speeding through. I'm so sorry. Let's see. Okay, I want you to kind of know what a morning will look like, okay? And a night. We talked about when you come in, you're going to be exhausted, of course, everybody is. So we want you to take a rest and then set up your stuff as quickly as possible so you can have shade. Blah, blah, blah. But we call them the Tarp Mahals, is what we're calling them. And, okay, so we have activities every night or something every night. And the dinners, of course, are going to be phenomenal. We have themes that go with that. But here is your morning prep. Okay, so your Liahonas come to the center of your company. And every family gets their own Liahona that will have candy and the cards and the scriptures that we're working on. And those will coincide with our theme for the day that goes with everything there. And so you'll get up, you'll hear music. Mark True will do some fun music to wake up to. That'll kind of get you going. And as soon as everybody goes to the bathroom, they come to the area of the Liahona, and you do a 10-minute, you open up your Liahona and you do a 10-minute devotional. Sometimes it will be the Moz and Paws doing it. Sometimes it'll be a company captain or a guest coming into your company, okay? So, and we'll get you that schedule. Then, as soon as you're done with that, you go to have breakfast. Then, after that, we get ready and we roll out pretty quickly after that.
Jackie,
Yes?
how many families are in a company?
That is a great question. Usually there are about 5, depending everything's really fluid, so it changes on a daily basis. Yeah. So we're just trying to, we may have to update your lists a little bit, but just know that we are, you've got about 5. And between those families, in your families, if you're a company captain, you have 8 to 9 kids per family. We're trying to keep it a little bit lower, but and we've got certain needs, and we've really spent a lot of time trying to make sure that everybody is matched up as good as we can possibly do with Heavenly Father's help. So, any other questions?
Definitely no more than 6 in a company. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Jack,
Huh?
when you mentioned coming into the camps, they're
Oh yeah, that's right. Thank you. Okay. Also, that color your place will be staked out as a ma and pa for your company. So the activities committee go ahead and they stake out your area where your tents or tarps will go. So that when you're coming in and you're like, oh, that's us right over there, it helps you know right where to go. Does that make sense? And anything else about that? Okay. Last couple of things is that we're asking the youth not to bring their cell phones. But it is hard because you'll probably have one to take pictures or do whatever. And we would love for all of your media to go into one local place that, whether that be a Google Photos or something like that we'll get to you. But just be discreet with your phones. I mean, there is some up there that you actually have pretty good signals. But we're really encouraging them not to. But here's kind of where I'm at on this. And I feel we've talked about this a little bit, but I don't want this to be, oh, we're going through your backpacks, we're pulling your phones out. It's not going to be like that. A lot of this is agency. And as Moms and Paws, I ask you, if they do bring them and you see them, just say, hey, we need you to put those away. So just encourage them, but I don't want it to be anything so rigid that we're destroying any relationships or anything like that. So that's where I'm at on that. So let's see what else on my thing here.
Jackie, could I just mention something?
Mm-hmm.
We really feel, after counseling as a state council, we really feel that would be an item that you could cover in a family council after you gather your families. Talk about rules, talk about respect, talk about what you expect from them as family. Have them counsel back with you. There's great blessings in counseling.
And last but not least, very, very, very important to all of us are the safety of these kids. We have gone over this, but we're going to say it again. The kids are never to leave without 3 going together at one time. So encourage that with all of your youth. Is if somebody's going to the bathroom, if somebody's going to do something else, whatever, they have to go in 3s, and we really, really want that to be a good rule. We are still working. We're trying to figure out the most safe. Often it's like, do we choose safety over comfort, or how are we doing this? And we are trying so hard to make sure that the kids and everybody are safe from the things that we have to worry about right now, that we've never really had to worry about before. So be prayerful about that. We are praying so hard to know the best way to do this. We've talked about the sleeping conditions under the tents, to keep them open so that we know what's going on. But often we can't have eyes everywhere. So be so prayerful about the kids under your care. These parents, of course, we're all parents. We know this is a lot of faith we're putting in this. So we're going to come back and let you know. We've got a few things we may switch around a little bit for the sleeping conditions, but we'll let you know as quickly as possible that it is going to be an open situation. We're not going to be closed up in tents. Keep that in mind, and we're going to get back to you on a lot of the exact details on that. Any questions?
When do we find out who our family is?
You get them tonight. Yeah, you get them tonight. And we're so excited. And so we've,
But it's top
yes.
secret.
Huh?
Make sure it's top secret.
Yeah, don't leave, because we have your packets right here, and they are wonderful. Did you want to say something? Oh, come on. Yes, come on in.